Mayor Eric Garcetti talks about the state of Los Angeles as protesters call on him to fix the city. Find out what he has planned for LA.
I'm here at the Hollywood Walk of Fame where over 2,600 amazing and iconic superstars have received a star here. And actress Eva Longoria was added to this list today. USC professor Mary Jones says that is...
And a big custodian protest is planned on campus for tomorrow. We'll talk with one of the organizers.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
Want the best food city in America? It's definitely LA. But there are people who are hungry this evening. I've often said that we won't be judged by what we say today, but what we do tomorrow.
Mayor Eric Garcetti delivered his State of the City and pledged to fight the problem of homelessness. Good evening, I'm Trevor Sahaki.
And I'm Madeline Audley. The mayor says accepting things the way they are is unacceptable. Annenberg Media's Suji Nam has more on the mayor's promise to the city.
Mayor Eric Garcetti gave his 5th State of the City address today, speaking about the city's efforts tackling issues from gun violence to public education. But topping his agenda, homelessness.
It is time for tents to come down in our neighborhoods. We need to stand up emergency shelters fast, and we need to do it now. Shelters that serve as a rest stop on the path to permanent housing.
According to the LA Homeless Services Authority, there are more than 45,000 homeless people living without shelter in the county. Garcetti will spend $430 million in a plan he calls a bridge home, a short-term assistance program.
Homeless Antoninos can't wait years to get off our streets.
But some believe the mayor has not been doing enough. According to the LA Times, homelessness increased 49% since Garcetti took office in 2013. Dozens of protesters gathered outside City Hall demanding for more affordable housing. Over the last 4 years, over 30,000 people have been provided housing by Los Angeles City.
That's why I'm leading the call of California's mayors and local officials for Sacramento to deliver $1.5 billion of that surplus for immediate aid to shelter our homeless neighbors today.
The homeless crisis is one of the many issues Garcetti is addressing as mayor. It may also reflect on his leadership ability as he considers running for president in 2020. For Annenberg Media, I'm Suji Nam.
Today, Mayor Garcetti also talked about the city hosting the 2028 Summer Olympics. Los Angeles last hosted the event in summer 1984. Olympic athletes will compete at a number of locations around USC, including the Memorial Coliseum, Dado Field, and the Galen Center. They'll also head down the street to Staples Center and across town to UCLA's Pauley Pavilion. Fans will get to see everything from volleyball to swimming to water polo.
And since I came before you last year, I am proud to report that Los Angeles won the gold. And we are bringing the Olympic and Paralympic Games back home.
Los Angeles initially tried for the 2024 Summer Olympics, but was outbid by Paris.
Mayor Garcetti also announced today that SpaceX will begin to build their 16-story rocket ships here in Los Angeles. The Big Falcon rocket is at the heart of the company's plans to settle on Mars.
Here, where the Mars rover was invented, the next chapter of that story is underway. And today, I am pleased to officially announce that SpaceX will start production development of the Big Falcon rocket in the port of Los Angeles.
Before SpaceX begins production, it must first get approval from the Los Angeles Board of Harbor Commissioners. SpaceX is scheduled to go before the board on Thursday.
President Donald Trump's attorney Michael Cohen appeared in court and revealed that Fox News personality Sean Hannity is one of his clients. Cohen's hearing comes after the FBI raid of his office last week. He initially refused to disclose the identity of his high-profile client, but was forced to identify Hannity under the court's orders. Last week, it was reported that another prominent Cohen client, Elliot Brody, paid $1.6 million to a former Playboy model. Brody was a graduate of USC Marshall and a trustee of the USC Hillel Foundation. Meantime, Sean Hannity tweeted that Cohen never represented him, but Hannity did ask for his input at times.
3 days after missiles struck Syria, many across the globe are wondering if the strike was effective.
Let's go to our political correspondent, Kaylee Wells, who has the latest. Kaylee?
Thanks, Trevor and Maddie. Between the U.S., Britain, and France, more than 100 missiles were fired at Syria on Friday. But a lot has happened since then. Let's take a look. The missiles struck a research center north of Damascus, as well as 2 storage facilities near Homs. Russia says it intercepted more than 70 of those missiles, a claim the Pentagon denies. USC Annenberg hosted reporter Onur Burçak-Belli, who has been covering the Syrian conflict. She spoke about the time she spent in Syria and criticized the West's intervention.
Is this our response to such an atrocity? Didn't have any effect on it, so I mean, what kind of a lesson are we trying to teach to Assad? And it did not have any effects.
President Obama's former Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta said today that we can't judge yet whether the attack was effective.
Assad still remains in power. There's no question he continues to have an arsenal of chemical weapons. I think the real question about whether or not this strike was worthwhile will be determined in the future.
Panetta also says the attack can't be effective unless the U.S. follows up, and that means continuing to work with Britain and France to create a long-term strategy. Trevor, back to you.
Thousands of cafeteria workers, bus drivers, custodians, and other school workers voted overwhelmingly on Saturday to authorize their bargaining committee to call a strike if necessary.
We have some valuable employees. They bring a lot to this school district, and with that, we can't afford to lose them. Let's acknowledge them by providing, better resources, fair wages, increased staffing. Let's do that so we can help the enrollment.
A spokeswoman for the Los Angeles Unified School District had this to say of the escalating situation. Quote, as we face the grim possibility of 29,000 employees going on strike, the district has taken immediate steps to procure services from vendors to ensure that student operations remain seamless at our schools. We are currently engaged in economically responsible bargaining, which means we must take into account our long-term fiscal health, end quote. The district has offered workers a 2% raise, but the union has rejected the offer. If there's no significant progress made by April 30th, the union is prepared to begin the strike process.
USC custodians are still negotiating with their employer Aramark over better benefits and hourly wages. The Service Employees International Union is planning a protest with the custodians tomorrow in front of Tommy Trojan. The custodians began contract negotiations in February, but they were unable to come to an agreement. Employees first protested on USC's main campus 3 weeks ago. They are expecting close to 300 people at tomorrow's protest.
So right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to push Aramark to provide better benefits for the workers. And we believe that the people working at USC, which is one of the richest private campus in the West Coast, they should not be making just 50 cents above minimum. So they should be making a little bit more that is compatible with the city that we live. The city of LA is the 13th or the 12th most expensive cities in the U.S.
Quiles Borer says the last 2 items the custodians are negotiating are health insurance and hourly wages. He says they hope to come to an agreement with Aramark by the end of the week.
A new survey has been released by UCLA about the future of young people in LA. Find out what the research has to say about it.
Recycling consultants are working hard to clean up the South LA community. See how they're getting involved with locals.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. That was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
The owners of a South LA recycling center are hoping to combat illegal dumping by accepting waste free of charge before Earth Day. I toured the lot to learn more about their impact in the neighborhood. LA County's Department of Public Works says roughly 14,000 tons of items are illegally dumped each year. The owner of one South LA recycling and waste center says he was tired of driving by old furniture left on the street.
I'm not going to give up till LA is cleaned up.
Errol Siegel helped start Active Recycling, a company that works to combat illegal dumping by collecting trash and recyclables. Today, they took in waste for free in advance of Earth Day. They hold promotions like this throughout the year.
In the last 2 years, we've taken over 5 million pounds of trash for free.
Illegal dumping occurs here in part because there's no landfill nearby. The closest government-run landfill properties are in Montebello, Whittier, and north of Pasadena. Residents also complain that the city is not prompt in collecting bulky items in South LA, while the west side sees quicker action.
They've called the city, no response, but it starts to affect them emotionally.
The city is improving its collection rate. An LA Times investigation found that in spring of 2016, more than 370 miles of streets required immediate cleanup. These were mostly in South LA. By the end of that year, that number was down to 91 miles. But residents in South LA say the problem still exists. And when the trash builds up, so does the possibility of fires and crime.
I mean, our children, they're growing in, literally trash, hoods. We don't want that.
Active Recycling hopes residents will take a role in keeping their streets clean.
Plus, they'll even pay you to recycle. Take cardboard, for example, where they'll pay you 4.5 cents per pound.
Well, it may not represent a lot of money to some people. To them, it represents the ability to eat today.
The City of LA will also be hosting free bulky item drop-offs through November at 5 different locations. The closest one to us is at 2201 East Washington Boulevard.
Actress Eva Longoria received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today. Annenberg Media's Katia Jordan is live on Hollywood Boulevard with more. Katia?
I'm here at the Hollywood Walk of Fame where over 2,600 iconic stars have been recognized for their talents, and today Eva Longoria was added to the list. We spoke to Professor Mary Jo, and she spoke on the honors of having a star.
I think if you get a star on the walk, Hollywood Walk, it just should be a testament to the merit of your professionalism, artistry, creativity, and your commitment to the industry.
As of 2011, only 79 Latinas have been awarded the star, and Eva Longoria says that she makes sure that this award was dedicated to the Latino community and women all over the nation. A lot of people were here to support her, even her A-lister celebrities, Ricky Martin, Felicity Huffman, and Victoria Beckham. I'm Katia Jordan, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Katia. Well, I haven't been outside much lately, but I hope we're getting back to that summer weather.
I really think we are, but it's still a little bit windy. Let's toss it to Anissa to learn what's coming up next week.
So we had a pretty warm weekend, but today it was a little chilly and had a little bit of wind. Right now it's 61 degrees with 44% humidity. Now tomorrow, if we head towards the Inland Empire, we'll see that Palm Springs will be a warm 77 degrees, Big Bear 47 degrees, and Riverside 73 degrees. Now if we head towards the valley, we'll see that Simi Valley 69 degrees, Northridge 73, and Thousand Oaks 71 degrees. Now if we head here right to USC, we'll see that Glendale 73 degrees, USC 70, and LAX 66 degrees. Now for your 5-day forecast. Tuesday and Wednesday, low 70s. Thursdays, we're going to hit 69 degrees, so it'll get pretty chilly. And then as we head towards the weekend, it'll start to warm up. Now, as we enjoy these warm and cloudless days here in LA, those on the East Coast aren't so lucky. Today, New Yorkers woke up to a flash flood warning and subway stations that looked like mini pools. To make light of the situation, Many took to social media with funny captions to go with their videos. One man tweeted, "Hey, New York City Transit subway, your station is leaking." Someone else tweeted, "Gotta love Mondays in New York," with the heart emoji. According to the National Weather Service, almost 2 inches of rain fell by 8 a.m. and continued till about 2 p.m. The flash flood warning was also issued to surrounding areas, including Harrison, New Jersey, which got 3 inches of rain by 9:45 a.m. The New York City subway account tweeted that staircases and stations would remain open as long as it was safe. They advised riders to be careful while entering and exiting trains.
Well, I don't know if we here in LA could even handle an inch of rain as much as they got.
Absolutely not.
That's absolutely incredible.
I really just wonder about the rodents that are down there. Do you think they can swim?
I don't want to think about that.
I don't even want to know. Well, thank you so much for that great story. Glad we're here. A new survey by the UCLA Luskin School of Public Affairs shows it is becoming increasingly hard for young people to live in LA. Overall quality of life ratings have declined, and rising housing costs are a main culprit. The survey asked about 9 main categories of LA living, including cost of living, transportation, and public safety. All categories experienced a decline in satisfaction compared to previous years.
At a time when young people should be optimistic about their future, looking forward to their future, thinking that anything is possible, there are a lot of barriers being put in their way that belie that optimism. So much more difficult today than it was even 5 years ago, and certainly 25 years ago.
USC students are also concerned about rising costs of living and housing concerns in LA.
Housing is ridiculous for students out here. Like next year I'm living in the Shrine, and for a 1-bedroom apartment it's $2,200 a month.
I guess I don't necessarily have like the highest opinion of living in LA after graduation, and so given like the cost as well on top of that, I just don't think it's really worth it.
I think especially as new graduates enter like the workforce, considering LA as the place to live is really hard.
You get some benefits by living in LA, and you're in the city and you're near everything, you're near your job and you're living near your campus, but it does come at a very big cost.
Not all the survey results were negative. Overall responses were positive for healthcare, quality of life in neighborhoods, and relations among different ethnic and religious groups.
Well, apparently there was a spring football game. I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah, I knew absolutely nothing about this, but I'm sure our expert Mary Page will be able to tell us a little bit more.
You're in luck, I can. Well, now the countdown can officially begin for football season. Spring ball wrapped up last weekend, and we'll give you the latest on that quarterback race.
My last go around, I'm have fun each and every day. Understanding that, every day could be my last.
Our reporter Sarah McGrew caught up with Benny Boatwright on his decision to stay for his senior year. And finally, warning, this video will inspire you to get out and run. All that coming up.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And just like that, spring football has come to an end. The Trojans wrapped up their spring season with the annual football showcase last Saturday. With star quarterback Sam Darnold leaving for the NFL draft, everyone is speculating who will take his place. The top prospects include redshirt sophomores Matt Fink and Holden Thomas, incoming freshman JT Daniels, and redshirt freshman Jack Sears, who says he's looking forward to getting to know Daniels.
Our offensive line that's absolutely dominated this spring, and they give you a beautiful pocket, and our running backs just pour it in there and gives us plenty of time. So we're just kind of getting to know each other. You know, he's going to be in our quarterback room here soon enough, and we're going to be around each other a lot. So kind of developing that chemistry, that friendship, and kind of teaching him up a little bit, him asking questions, and it's helping me too, having to answer them.
We asked our followers today who they think will jump into Darnold's shoes, and Daniels was picked with a majority of 53% of the vote. A lot of people looking forward to that true freshman coming in and shaking things up. Helton says that Daniels will report to campus starting June 8th for student-led practices. Fall training camp picks up August 3rd, and the countdown officially begins for next season. 137 days, but who's counting? In the meantime, Sarah's got an update on men's basketball.
Thanks, Mary Page. There was speculation about whether or not USC basketball's Benny Boatwright would declare for the NBA draft this year. I caught up with him earlier today to talk about why he decided to stay for his senior year.
What ultimately led to your decision to stay and play out your senior year here?
Ultimately, just getting my degree and making sure I'm healthy. Trying to play through a whole season, hopefully without injuries, will be big for me.
You're going to be a senior.
Right.
So how do you see yourself emerging as a leader on the team?
It's every day leading by example. Previous 3 years, I didn't lead vocally as much as I should have, but this year I need to pick that up, being that I'm one of 2 seniors. I mean, it's my last go around. You know, have fun each and every day. Understanding that, you know, every day could be my last because of the injuries and my past injuries. Can't take any day for granted. Just got to enjoy the process.
Boatwright will definitely be vital to the team's success next season. Mary Page, back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. Men's volleyball had a resounding victory over number 5 Pepperdine in the first round of the MPSF tournament last Saturday. After a rocky season, redshirt junior and co-captain Jack Wyatt thinks the men have finally found their stride.
I mean, it was great, obviously, but we've kind of moved on from that last victory because we're not done yet. So we're trying to make as far of a run as possible. I mean, we're trying to win this thing. And I think a lot of the guys in the locker room especially, we've been expecting to win. So anything short of that has been kind of disappointing for us. So winning this past one was really good for us. And I think it's going to be, like I've said in the past, a catalyst for our future success.
As for the beach, the women of Troy played in the Pac-12 North Invitational in Seattle over the weekend, finishing the tournament 3-1. The lineup has been noticeably different for the past few games, with the seemingly solid senior pair Jenna Belton and Joe Kramer playing separately despite being a mere 12 wins away from being USC's 3rd all-time winningest duo. I spoke to Coach Collier about that decision.
Well, I shook the lineup up. I tried something different. We've had some losses, and I figured, okay, it's on me now. I need to figure out how to win this. So I just shook the lineup, threw it on the ground, said, who's going to be with whom? And we decided that this was the lineup we were going to go with.
The men take on Brigham Young University away on Thursday, and Women's Beach finish out their regular season at home tomorrow against Long Beach State and Grand Canyon University. Now, baseball is preparing for their upcoming games this week, as well as an exciting rematch against UCLA this weekend. UCLA pitcher John Olson, now he's the one who got nailed in the face by USC's Lars Nootbaar last time. He'll be back on the mound. Coach Dan Hubbs talked about what they expect.
You never want to see a kid go down with injury, especially one like that. I know it affected Lars when it happened, and it's pretty remarkable that in less than a month he's back on the mound after what he went through. And so I'm excited for him. I'm not looking forward to facing him, but I'm excited for him, and we're pulling for him.
Before playing UCLA, the Trojans will face UC Santa Barbara tomorrow and Loyola Marymount on Wednesday. Now, if you're looking for a little inspiration to get up off the couch and go for that run, look no further. Desiree Linden became the first American woman to win the Boston Marathon in 33 years over the weekend. And here she is crossing that finish line in 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 54 seconds in icy rain, terrible winds, not a fun time. What do you guys think?
Wow.
That's incredible.
I could ever do that.
Yeah.
Could you?
I don't think I could run a marathon in dry weather, let alone the freezing cold of Boston. That's absolutely incredible what those runners do on a yearly, monthly basis. Oh my God.
Really makes me regret like complaining about the 5Ks that I run sometimes.
But I think we should do it. I think the Annenberg Media should start a team, and we should just get training.
Is this breaking news? Heard it here first?
This is breaking news.
I think we could do it if we do it in pieces. You know, I'll do the first 5 miles. You can do the next 5 miles.
Okay, like
we'll
a tag team.
Wheelchair and we'll push you. How about
I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. Well, thank you, Mary Page, for that sports update.
Of course.
Didn't get enough reading in this summer? We have a special list to hit all your summer needs.
And Kendrick Lamar's newest album has brought him a lot of rewards, but find out what his newest prize is.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
迷惑ボーイ。
ここはなんとかしなくちゃ。
スーパーカインドの交通機関案内。
When you ride on the bus or rail, don't eat popcorn, meat, or kale. Food can smell and it makes a mess. Keep LA Metro clean and fresh. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Superkind will be there to solve them. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Superkind will be there to solve them.
Well, get this. If you're looking to become more well-read this summer, check your email for President Nikias' summer reading list. On the list is The Gene, an Intimate History, written by this year's graduation speaker, Dr. Siddhartha Mukherjee. Other books on the list are Graham Allison's Destined for War, Can America and China Escape Thucydides' Trap?, Am I Shakespeare by Mark Rylance, and Home Fire by Camilla Shamiz.
And Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer Prize today, making him the first rapper to receive the prestigious award. Until now, it's only been given to classical or jazz artists in the musical category. But Lamar made history with his latest album called Damn. It's Lamar's 4th studio album and includes the hit songs Humble and DNA. Damn also won the Best Rap Album category at this year's Grammy Awards. It was his 3rd album to be nominated for the Best Overall Album. Some of the other winners include the New York Times and the New Yorker for their reporting on sexual misconduct and the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat for coverage of the California wildfires.
That is absolutely incredible that Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer. I think that's incredible for, you know, just rap music across all generations. But again, congrats to all the other winners. They all deserve it for their reporting.
I think it's totally well deserved. What about you guys?
Definitely makes me proud to be a journalist and see that those publications like the New York Times that are getting bashed, sometimes like being awarded for their work.
Great, Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Trevor Sahaki.
And I'm Madeline Audley. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.